translated the
No worries.
questions in
Take all the
English,
time you
so
need.
I have-
I'll just go.
This will be on YouTube. You know, huh? Quindi siamo qui con Bungie in compagnia di DeeJ. Abbiamo portato le vostre domande che ci avete fatto tramite il nostro gruppo Facebook a niente meno che il community manager di Bungie. Dunque, the first question is,
Yeah.
the last year during our Gamescom interview we talk about books and other things like comics.
Yeah, sure.
Are you planning something for the year 2 of Destiny?
It's nothing that I can announce right now. There aren't any solid plans that I can tell you about, but we absolutely see Destiny as taking place, in a rich world full of lore and interesting characters and interesting backstories, and I think it would certainly play well into a lot of different mediums. How we apply those and how we tell that story across a wider variety of mediums is a conversation that we're having all the time at Bungie. For the time being, we're really focused on making sure that the game franchise is solid. I think The Taken King is a great opportunity for us to refine our storytelling elements in the actual game itself. Once we have a game that we feel is on a good foundation, then we can branch out from there. So who knows what the future would hold. But
So then the vault, the armory on Destiny, has been a problem right now because people want to collect their favorite weapons.
Yeah.
Are you planning something for the future or are thinking a solution about this?
Yeah, update 2.0 is the largest update that we're making to Destiny to date. So we've updated the game about over 30 times. This is going to be the single largest update to the game. And before The Taken King launches, I pledge to you that I'm going to get up on Twitch. We're going to take a walk through the tower. We're going to take a look at all of your new armor and weapon options. We're going to talk about some of the different ways that you can be a collector with new systems that are coming online in the tower. And we will give you the information that you need to make educated decisions about what you have now, what you're going to get later, and how it all works together. So I promise that answer's coming. It's a long conversation, so we're going to have that conversation up on Twitch after we get back from Gamescom.
Okay.
How the new weapons are supposed to replace the old one? There will be a
New
coexistence between the old one and the new one, or players will be
Focused on the new one.
on the new one?
Yeah, I think there will be a balance. The Taken King and the story that we're telling about the Taken War is a rising threat in our solar system. So you're going to have new powerful weapons, you're going to have your new subclass, you're going to have new exotic armor that infuses you with new abilities, new ways to fight, and then there's of course your new subclass. So there's all sorts of new ways to fight in the Taken King, but there are always going to be those moments where you take a new person in your community through the Vault of Glass and the Vision of Confluence comes out of the vault. Perhaps you go back and you fight Crota for old time's sake after you've managed to kill Oryx. You're going to want some of those Crota's End weapons. For everything in Destiny there is the perfect weapon. I have my favorite Crucible gun. I have my favorite patrol weapon. I have my favorite raid weapon. I have my favorite Nightfall Strike helmet that helped me revive people more quickly. So it's really your decisions as a player of the game as to what's important to you, what you hold on to, what you take and put into your armory and infuse your armory with. There's the largest armory update ever in the Taken King. The Taken King has more weapons in it than original Destiny did. So you're going to have some interesting choices to make, and we're going to be equipping you with some new and interesting ways to hang on to some of the things that you love, but to add to that some of the things that you're really going to need to confront this rising threat. So I think everybody, they're going to find their own balance with these things.
What about the new Titan Super? Are players gonna prefer the new Titan, or do you think they're gonna stay on attacker or defensive?
The one thing I can guarantee you is that the players in the Destiny community are not going to agree wholesale on anything. On anything. And we love that. We thrive on that level of debate. It's kind of a misnomer when people go on a forum and they say, everybody in the community agrees about something. Because there's always somebody that comes into that thread and says, I don't feel that way at all. I'm a Void Walker. It's how I fight. Whenever the Sunbro makes it into a trailer, I'm like, why would you put the Sunbro in the trailer, man? You know, it's like Void Walker for life, Nova Bomb for the win, or nothing else.
Space magic.
Yes, space and magic. But if you know, people experiment with this new, you know, if you're a Titan through and through, and you experiment with the Hammer of Soul, you know, you're going to have some fun with it, you're going to get used to it, you're going to see how it's effective and how it's dangerous, but you're still going to want to put that bubble around your allies in certain situations. You're still going to want to, you know, Fist of Havoc and clear the ground around you. We're giving you more things to do, which is just diversity, variety. All of these things are great for the player experience, and then you get to make your own decisions as to what you really, you know, what you really want to run with in different situations.
How is changed with the Taken King the way to tell the stories on Destiny?
You know, we're bringing a lot of the characters that you know from the tower and making them more of a factor in your player experience going through this new campaign. You know, there's a whole new narrative in the Taken King. There's the story of a new enemy, a new primary villain with its own army. You know, the Taken are an army of combatants that have been ripped from our dimension, mutated with the darkness, and then sent back to fight us in our own solar system. And as you progress through that adventure, you're going to hear a lot from Eris Morn or Commander Zavala or Cade 6, you know, the characters from the tower that are really there to lead the city, you know, and to lead the Guardians into battle are going to play a more active role. We also have a ghost that is going to be more central to the player experience than he was in the Dark Below or the House of Wolves. So we are experimenting with different ways. The ghost is back. The ghost is leading you on your adventure. The ghost is going to be something that you'll use to scan certain elements out in the world, and he'll just deliver to you story and lore as you progress through the story. Also, the other thing that we're doing is we've got a lot more cinematics in the Taken King that you've seen in the House of Wolves and the Dark Below. Yeah. I mean, if you take a look at the trailers that we're releasing, you know, there's these epic sweeping vistas that depict battles large and small. Of course, as a Guardian, your contribution is, you know, boots on the ground, gun in hand. Destiny is still a shooter, but we're telling stories about, you know, an epic space opera that, you know, once again, we're, you know, hurling you back out into the stars to make our solar system safe for human, awoken, and exo alike.
What about the 347 Bestian Dynasty?
What would you like to know about it?
I want to know when player can get their hands on this weapon.
I'm going to leave that for your own discovery.
Yeah?
That's what Destiny's all about.
What are your plans? So players saw this weapon on the armory, on the magic.net.
Yeah.
When we'll get hands on this weapon?
It's a mystery even to me. So we're gonna have to figure it out as we play the game. You know, we're still fine tuning a lot of the systems in our studio. Anything can still be, you know, adjusted or renamed or pulled all together from the armory until the game begins, until you actually go out on your adventure and these weapons start to drop in the wild. I don't want to make any promises. I don't want to set any expectations. What I can tell you is, again, there are more guns in the Taken King than there were in the game that we launched last year. Wow. So you will have plenty of options to choose from in terms of the guns that you use and the weapons that become your favorite. We've got 3 new foundries in the Taken King. You know, we got Haka, Amalon, Soros. We've had some of the art up on Bungie.net. Adding a little bit more character and a little bit more dimension to the weapons and the people in the city that manufacture them for you. So these weapons behave in different ways. They all are tactical and useful in different ways, and you're going to have to explore, you know, through your own fighting style and your own preferred means of fighting, which ones are your favorite. So do yourself a favor and don't get your heart set on any one weapon before the game comes out, because you're going to have a lot to choose from, and I would hate for you to miss out on that. The gunsmith is actually going to be a character that you're going to want to visit in the Taken King. You know, in Destiny, beyond buying your first green or maybe purple weapons, the gunsmith was somebody that people just sort of left alone. He's up there in his corner, you know, like noobs go shop at the gunsmith, but he's there on the forefront again, so that even the most hardcore Guardian is going to approach the gunsmith and, you know, like, I got something new for you. So it's going to be a good character.
Okay, that's all we got. It's been awesome to be here. We are.
Sorry for the trouble with the translation, but it has been a very long and tiredly
Yeah, yeah.
day.
I can relate.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.